Hello paper crafters, I'm Sunny Sky and today's card is really cool and I want to show it to you in the envelope so that you'll believe me that it fits in the envelope, and then we'll go over paper sizes and things. So this is a teepee card and it lays flat for mailing. It's 3 squares of the same size and I put a little magnet here to attach them together to make a teepee card. And you could use this as a place setting at your Thanksgiving or holiday table. And it sits up like this. And if you use the magnet, you can fold it flat for mailing and it fits right in that standard size medium envelope. Isn't that neat? So this card is so simple. It is 3 4x4 squares in order to fit in the envelope. If you do 4 1/4 inch squares, it will not fit in a standard medium size envelope. If you do 4-inch squares or something smaller, it will. And at the end, I'll show you some other cards that I've done, another teepee cards, and another size as well. And make the base of this card as designer series paper or as cardstock. Either way, I will show you some designer series paper options. You are going to take your squares and score them diagonally. And I'm using my scoreboard here. And I've just drawn a line with a Sharpie in one of the grooves so that I can match the bottom to the top of the groove to know that I'm actually doing the diagonal. And you're going to do all 3 of them this way. So 2 of them are going to just be lined up like squares. The 3rd one is going to be diagonally between them, but you're going to layer them. That way you have a panel of each that is on top of your project, and then when you fold it together, that 3rd one that has 2 panels showing, you'll fold that underneath so that you get a panel of each on top. So we're going to make each panel differently so that you can see how that works and how part of them is showing and part of them is not. So let me mark this one that I'm going to put a pencil line here very lightly where this is going to go on top. And then I'm going to mark this that this is not going to be seen. Then I'm going to set this one here. I'll mark a pencil line so I know where not to put glue past that line, and we'll erase that when we're done. And I'll mark that that's the side that's going underneath. Now this side will be exposed, but it will not be on the outside of our card. It's going to be part of the fastened side of the card. So we need to leave that unmarked a little bit. Actually, let me just put a little small X there in the corner because that's where our fastener is going to go. And that way I'll know that that's the side that is going to show on the inside of the card. Okay, now to decorate this, you're going to take some other squares of paper. Designer series paper is what I've used, just decorative papers here. And I've cut these just slightly smaller, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, just smaller than your card base so that they will layer on. And then I'm going to cut them diagonally. Now when I cut them diagonally, because they are a layer here, if I just cut this in half, then I'll have this 1/8 inch border around the outside, but it will be right together at the seam. So because I'm creating 2 triangles from 1 square, I'm not just going to cut them in half. I'm going to cut them, let me do the more solid side up so you can see a little easier. I'm going to cut 2 at a time because it's paper, the cutter can handle that. Instead of cutting it right in half, I'm going to bring that point over just a little bit to the edge of that dark gray cutting line, and I'm going to cut on one side of the center, and then I'm going to bring the point over to the other side of the dark gray cutting line. And if you don't have this cutting, this cutter, you're just moving it over slightly. So you see I'm taking about 1/8 of an inch and I'm just going to toss that, or use it, you could use it as a as another decoration on the card. But so I've taken that square and I've just eliminated a little bit in the center because we're cutting them in triangles. Now I would like to stamp one of my panels. Put designer series paper on some of them, but I also want to stamp some. So I think I'll stamp this one that's gonna show up on the back side, or on the inside. I'm going to stamp that one. And then also we'll have room on the inside of the card, the whole back of the card, the whole inside of the card you have available to you for a greeting, or you could decorate the inside as well. But when it's sitting on your table or when it's sitting on their desk, the outside is what they're going to see. Okay, so let's stamp our panel. And you can see that when you stamp your panel, you do not want to, anything that's upright, any pattern that has a clear top and bottom, this is going to sort of sit at an angle. So when I stamped my greeting here, I angled it, sort of used the top as my center line and did it across there. You don't want to line up anything with this edge or this edge, because those are not going to sit flat. Those are going to sit slanted. So okay, we have our panel here. This is the part that's going inside. We're going to stamp on this one on the outside. And I want to remember that the center is going to be up there, and it's pretty much going to come straight down. So if I put this about the same amount to the left or to the right of this center grid line and run my greeting straight across, that will be accurate. I'm using cinnamon cider for this and Bumblebee, and I chose those colors based on the colors that are in the designer series paper that we're using. And sometimes I forget to tell y'all which colors I'm using, but you can always look down in that description link. So we're gonna just add, put away my Bumblebee, my cinnamon cider, and you could use other colors as well. There are some lovely blues on this paper. Let me show you the paper, what I have left of it. So on the back side, there's always a list of what colors are used. So although this is in the catalog as well, once you have your paper, you've got the list right there. Me, I need my readers to read it, but okay, so this is one of the papers that wouldn't work as well for this project because those trees are going to end up sideways. But the back side would be really great. Look at this lovely blue tree background for Christmas. And there's another pretty blue, and there's one that'll be great for cards. Just some lovely, lovely papers. All right. Okay, let's get back to our card here. So we've got this one and this one, and I can go ahead and glue these on before I do my designer series papers, since I know where they're going to go. I just wanted to make sure that I stamped before I did any of that there. Okay, liquid glue is your friend on this project. Generally, I'm a dry adhesive person, but this gives you a little time to maneuver if you didn't quite get it straight. And then what I like to do is just kind of fold it over so I can see, make sure that all the sides, now this one is not folding over, so I need to spread it out a little bit. All right. So now we have our other pieces that we need to decorate. We've got the blue on the back side of this, but because I've got a more fall look on this, I don't think that blue is going to fit well with what I want to do. I could do that one, or this has a little more variation. So go like that. Let's do that. And then on these, we're covering the whole piece, so you can put your glue all the way across. And you'll see when we cut that in half, remember we added that little bit of break in the center that's helping with the layering look on the outside of those. Okay, now in advance, I have cut a bunch of die cuts from the set that coordinates with, no, it does not coordinate with this set. It is, the dies are from, hold on. Okay, the dies are from the Art in Bloom set, which doesn't look like a fall set, but we've got some leaf dies in here that will work well for this. So that's what I use. It's kind of a conglomeration. Is about this magnetic closure. I've ordered all kinds of craft magnets, and they are not like these. These are the only ones I found that are really what I've been looking for. Even on Amazon, if you look for basic gray magnetic discs, sometimes you get the wrong thing in the mail. Scrapbooks Forever Branson has a website, and the magnets are not on the website, but if you contact them, they do have them in the store. I was in person at their store and got these, and need to order some more. So they come with positive and negative magnets. So you're going to take one negative and one positive, and look at how thin these are. These are super, super thin. They're not even they're maybe a millimeter thick. They're very thin, so they're not bulky. Take a positive and negative. They have a sticky back to them. You're going to put the two sides together. Positive and negative are going to be attracted to each other. And the sticker side is out. So we're going to, it does not matter which side you put on which part of the card. Take your sticker off without getting the adhesive off. And I'm going to put that over. Remember, I had that little X there? I just want the magnet over somewhat closer to the corner there, because this is the side that's going inside, right? Okay. I'm going to take the sticker off the back. Remember, I have both sides of the magnet magnetized together here. Take the sticker off of the second side, close the card the way I want it to be, and now I'm going to attach that. Why do I not feel that sticker there? Because I did it on the wrong side. Okay, so when you do this, don't do it like me. Don't put it on this side. You really want the magnet over here. Okay, that's the way my original one was. I always get flustered when I'm showing you guys. Okay. So you really want the magnet over here. Let me see if I can take this off. And then I would have to erase that pencil line. I'm going to try and twist a little. Look at that. I think we're going to do it. Okay, and I'm going to put that on the inside there. Let me try and twist this off. Hey, we're doing it. Okay, so I'm going to attach it back to that. Close this. Okay, now I can feel it under there and I know it's there. And there's a little bit of spread there, but you see that's a very narrow opening. Okay, so this is my plain one. I'm going to add those die cuts, rhinestones, and the bits of twine to it. And on this sample, I did use cinnamon cider cardstock on the two pieces that I did not stamp on. So on this, I did all three the same. So I wanted to show you a couple of other ones. Here is one where I did 3-inch squares. So it's only 3 inches tall instead of 4 inches tall, so it's smaller. This is one where the designer series paper has, it doesn't really have a right and wrong, but you can see that that was straight up and down, and it's not now, it's sort of slanted. And I was going to show you with these trees how they would be slanted. Okay, so you see how those trees are growing slanted on the slope. Must be a steep mountain because they were straight up and down. So when you're choosing your paper, choose ones where the pattern, the up and down, doesn't matter. And then just as a reminder here, when I was first doing this, I did one just with 3 different colors, did not decorate it at all. Just to remind you that it is 3 squares of cardstock is all you're using. Very simple to put together. And here's another sample. I did this for a wedding, for the table place settings at the wedding. Again, 3 pieces of cardstock, 3 squares, same size. So that is this crazy TV card that I keep messing up on, but I think that if you guys do this, you're going to do it better than me, and you're really going to enjoy it. So have fun and go do some crafting today.